Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. This is your host Ram with you on the cricket show, Cricket Happenings, and I'm going to talk on the ICC T20 World Cup 2021. First and foremost, I would like to apologize to all my dear listeners and fans of Cricket Happenings. I definitely promised you that I will be coming then starting to do a daily report on the T20 World Cup. But unfortunately, due to my office commitments, it becomes increasingly difficult for me to come back and get back into it and wax eloquent on that. But on Twitter, I normally put some of the I tweet a lot on cricket on the World Cup, and I'm sure some of them would have definitely seen it. But again, I'm extremely sorry that I'm not able to come on a daily basis in this ICC T20 World Cup. But nevertheless, today what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the Super 12 that has started today. So we'll talk about two matches that happened today. One was the first match was between Australia versus South Africa, and the victors were the Aussies. I'll talk about that, and then West Indies put up a very humiliating performance for their standards. As you know, they are the defending champions, and the defending champions to be bowled out for just 55 runs against England, to me, was something which was really baffling. But that was it, and so I'll be talking about that. And it's a D-Day tomorrow. As we all know, India are clashing with Pakistan at the Dubai cricket ground, and what an electric atmosphere it is going to be. I mean, as you know, Pakistan have never won a World Cup match, never won against India in a World Cup. So basically, that's the jinx where Pakistan has to break, and India will see to it that they maintain the jinx. So it is going to be a battle royal in front of the Dubai cricket public, one could say, and also for the cricketing world. What a tremendous spectacle that is going to be. So I will try to do whatever I can. So first I will be talking about these two matches. Then I will go back, and also let's congratulate the four nations. Yes, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. One was thinking that they would definitely qualify for the Super 12. Yes, they did. But let's congratulate Scotland and another new team on the block, Namibia, who have made it to the Super 12. And not only that, by Scotland and Namibia, by virtue of actually getting into the T20 World Cup Super 12, they've also booked the Namibia. I know for a fact that they have booked their ticket for the next World Cup, the next T20 World Cup, which is going to be held in Australia in the year 2022. So congratulations to Namibia. They defeated Ireland. Ireland was sent back home. Netherlands was sent back home. And I thought it was very well done by both the teams. So definitely my commiserations to Ireland and Netherlands, who could not make it. But nevertheless, we had a wonderful qualifying tournament. We saw that Sri Lankans to me are looking good, because what one can see from the Sri Lankans is that they are having a very good bowling unit. I mean, if there are two bowlers who can bowl at 145 clicks, which is pretty decent. And then Mahesh Dikshana, the mystery bowler, is definitely proving that he would be a mystery for the opposition. Wanindu Hasaranga, one of the world-class players now, one of the upcoming world-class players for Sri Lanka, one could call him, and he has been doing a tremendous job. The other day, he just breezed to an innings when the Sri Lankan innings were in the dumps at one stage. So definitely a lot to look out for. The Sri Lankan unit, I think, is looking very good. Bangladesh, well, they suffered a reverse. They lost against Scotland. The pressure was right on them to win the remaining matches. They did it. So that is Bangladesh. Namibia have shown that they are definitely up there with their batting prowess, their bowling. I think they are having a well-balanced unit. Their fielding, so they're having a well-balanced unit. Papua New Guinea, unfortunately, misses out, but they definitely put up some. They put up a good chase the other day against one of the teams, I remember, and they are a very electric fielding unit as well. Netherlands unfortunately misses the bus. They have to go back. Netherlands could probably, I thought, could have done much better than how they did in the qualifiers. Probably there was some lack of match practice for them, I reckon. And as far as the other team was concerned, was Ireland. That was the shocker, according to me. Ireland, so far, I've always figured in the Super 12, and that was a shocker for them as Namibia upset them and went on to the Super 12. So my commiserations to Ireland that they are not there in the Super 12. But definitely, we know that Ireland is a full member nation, and they will definitely come back hard. But they definitely have a job to do to get into the 2022 World Cup now. Well, dear fans and subscribers, so right now I am just getting away from here and we are getting on to the match. As I said, the Super 12 has started. So I'm going to the South Africa-Australia game where I thought the South Africans, let's understand one thing. This T20 World Cup is being played on slowish pitches in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Sharjah. So let's understand one thing. And also, let me also tell something that Oman was the co-host and they held all the matches that was there in the qualifying round. And one has to say, Oman definitely, yes, the home team definitely showed that they could be a very formidable team. But unfortunately, even being the co-host, they could not qualify. But they definitely showed a lot of glimpses of their upcoming potential, no doubt about it. But definitely, I think Oman should be given a big hand in co-hosting the tournament with United Arab Emirates. And I thought they have done a very good job in hosting the tournament. The stadium was absolutely picturesque, and I thought they did a very good job. So Oman, keep it up. And Oman definitely are something that one can't forget because, as I said, Oman will come back because I think Oman definitely has the potential. They have the makings to come back. So I'm sure Oman will be working hard to come back into the mainstream. Right. Now, as I said, as I promised you, we are getting on to the match. So the first match of the Super 12 today was between South Africa and Australia. As far as South Africa and Australia were concerned, also let me tell you that Scotland and Namibia will be in the Indian group where India, Pakistan, and the other teams like New Zealand and Afghanistan, that's the team. As far as the Bangladesh and Sri Lanka are concerned, the both are in the group where Australia, England, South Africa, and other teams are there. So that's the situation. So let's talk about Group 1 in today. The first match of the Super 12 took place in Abu Dhabi. And as I said, it's a matter of strategizing because the due element, as you know, the Indian Premier League was played in the UAE. So basically, India would be India and some other nations would definitely know. I am sure the other players would be actually sharing all the information. And let me tell you one thing. This T20 World Cup that is going to happen, I think it is more a question of strategy, how you strategize. You have to strategize because the reason being that you have the due factor coming in when the team is chasing, the ball is not easy to grip. So, and also it's not the flat pitch where you go and just go slam bang. That's not going to happen. Sharjah for sure is not a batting pitch. It's a bowler's pitch. It's a slowish pitch. Dubai to a certain extent could be a batter's pitch. Abu Dhabi to a certain extent probably. But today what South Africa did was really not something that one would have wanted. They put up a score which was really not defendable. 118 for 9 against the Aussies. You could never defend 118 against the Aussies. Now look at the South African card. But let's first talk about who did the damage. Josh Hazelwood at the top of the bowling, as he was the one who did the damage by delivering one real feeler outside the off stump to Rassie van der Dussen the other day. As you know, the warm-up against Pakistan, he made a century. It looked pretty impressive, but it was not to be. A beautiful ball, a feeler, absolute feeler outside the off stump, and Rassie van der Dussen was sucked in by Matthew Wade. He was gone for 2. The captain, Temba Bavuma, was sent for 12 by Maxwell. Maxwell into the equation. Quinton de Kock, a bit unlucky, trying to ramp Hazelwood, and the ball, absolutely, one could see it in slow motion, that the ball was really going and hitting the stumps. And Quinton de Kock, all that he could do was just watch it. So it was a funny dismissal for Quinton de Kock. So that was a big wicket. Aidan Martin was the highest scorer. He showed some nice strokes in his knock of 40 of 36, 3 fours and 1 6. So he definitely was the highest scorer with 40. But other than that, there was not much to come from the South Africans. So South Africans only have themselves to blame for it, to have put only 118 for 9 on the board, which was never going to be enough against the Aussies. Klassen made 13 of as many balls, 2 boundaries. David Miller out for 16 of 18. Pretorius won, Maharaj not. Rabada was the one who hit out in the end to the death over, was not out on 19 to at least take the South Africans past the 100 mark, 118 for 9. Nokia was out for 2, Samsey not. So if you look at the bowling figures from the Aussies, Mitchell Starc 2 for 32, Glenn Maxwell bowled well, 1 for 24, but George Hazelwood was the man of the match for his 4 overs, 1 maiden, 19 runs and 2 wickets, bowled superbly, nice length. Pat Cummins 1 for 17, also did a good job. Adam Zampa picked up 2 wickets for 21. The Aussies were chasing 119, but all eyes were on David Warner for sure, because David Warner, as you know, has a wretched Indian Premier League IPL. So one was really waiting to see as to how David Warner will shape up. Yes, he definitely showed some confidence as he threaded the ball through the offside. We could probably think of the old Warner as he reeled in 3 boundaries. But that was said, David Warner was consumed by Rabada. Rabada gave him a short delivery and Warner went, I think it was the drive basically. So basically it was a short ball. Short ball saw the off stump. He went for the drive, but he could not keep it down and backward point. But David Warner was out for just 14 runs of 15, but looked good. Let me tell you that. Arun Finch, the captain, was dismissed for a not by Nokia. Rabada taking a good catch when Arun Finch tried to go for a big one. The power play overs, as I said, the wickets were falling. Mitchell Marsh came in 1 drop. He was gone for 11 of the bowling of Maharaj. Stephen Smith played well for his 35 of 34. And then the pressure started building. And then Glenn Maxwell, trying to reverse sweep Shamsi, was out for 18 of 21, 1-4. And then it was definitely, as I said, it was 118 was a very small score. And there was no point in just going for the runs. 81 for 5, and Glenn Maxwell departed from the scene. But still, there was some work to do with the 2 batsmen at the crease. Marcus Stoinis, who was making a comeback in the sense he's come back from injury, as he never played the IPL, the second leg, as you all know. And Marcus Stoinis came in after the injury. And definitely what one liked about Marcus Stoinis and Matthew Wade is that they definitely know what they had to do. So they settled down. And they only started they did it in a sort of a leisurely fashion. Yes, there was some real tension as the match went down all the way down to the last over. And Marcus Stoinis then finally, with some good hits to the fence, made sure that Aussies would be putting it across the South Africans. So Stoinis ran out 24 of 16, 3 boundaries, which will make him very happy. Matthew Wade also kept his cool, not out on 15 of 10, 2 boundaries, 121 for 5, game over. And that was the first game of the Super 12 in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. And it was Australia who beat South Africa. Rabada, 4 overs, 1 for 28. Nokia, 4 overs, 2 for 21. Keshav Maharaj, 1 for 23. Shamsi, 1 for 22. Pretorius was a bit costly, 3.4 overs, no maiden, none for 26. So that was the first game, done and dusted as far as the Super 12 was concerned. And the Aussies won the match. Now let's have a look at the other match. The second match that happened was between West Indies versus England. And West Indies, as you know, are the defending champions. And one did not expect the defending champions to succumb in such a fashion where they were rolled out for just 55 runs by the Englishmen. One thing that we saw in this West Indies innings, probably they would have definitely learned their lessons. If you look, the highest scorer in this 55 was Chris Gale, who was playing definitely his last World Cup. He was gone for 13. Tymal Mills taking his wicket. But he still hit 3 boundaries in that. But what one saw from this West Indies innings, if you really do a sort of a real analysis, is that the West Indies 55 all out, it was all attributed. If you look at the way that West Indies played, they decided to go for the strokes. It was all a matter of hitting the ball, either trying to hit a 4 or a 6. And they probably thought that aggression would be the key, but it was not to be. They could have probably bided their time. They could have taken their time. Yes, I'm sure West Indies have not begun well. But being defending champions, they would definitely do an sort of a review. And I'm sure in the coming matches to come, we are going to see a different West Indian approach to batting altogether for sure. Because probably West Indies thought that they would get away, being defending champions. Probably they could get away with some aggression against England. It was not to be. It was a wonderful performance from Adil Rashid, the leg spinner. He returned magnificent bowling analysis, and that was the best bowling analysis by England in a T20 World Cup. Adil Rashid, 2.2 overs, no maiden, just 2 runs, but he picked up 4 wickets. He picked up some important wickets at that. He picked up the wicket of especially at the end overs. I mean, he was bowling tightly, but he picked up a most important wicket of Kieron Pollard for 6. Andre Russell, normally, Andre Russell is not someone you see who's trying to defend the ball, but here Andre Russell, probably because the chips were down for the West Indies, tried to actually defend a delivery, and the ball went in between the bat and pad gap and hit the stumps. So he was gone for a blob. And then Obed McCoy was out for naught. Ravi Rampal was dismissed for trying to slog sweep, was out for bowled by Rashid for 3. In the top, if you see, Lendl Simmons attempting a big shot was out for Moeen Ali for the. Moeen Ali also did a good job. He picked up 2 wickets at the top. Shimron Hetmyer showed more aggression, tried to be more aggressive, and that brought his downfall. He was gone with the bowling of Ali. Kevin Lewis, after hitting a 6, was a victim of the bowling of Vokes, missing a slower delivery, not really picking up one caught. Chris Gale, as I told you, Bravo showed some, hit one very good shot through the offside, but that was it for Bravo. Jordan actually got his wicket. Nicholas Pooran fell to the bowling of Tymal Mills. Tymal Mills was superb with his bowling, and Kieron Pollard, the pressure was really on Kieron Pollard as he was left with after Andrew Russell was gone. One of the tailenders were there, and Kieron Pollard had to fling his, had to really throw his bat, and that's what precisely happened. And that was the end of the West Indies. Not a good outing for them in the first match of their Super Dull, but as I said, every team has to strategize. It's not a matter of going there and just start hitting from ball 1. You have to strategize on these pitches in United Arab Emirates. There should be a different strategy. You should have a different plan of action, according to me. Moeen Ali, well done, 4 overs, 217. Chris Vokes, 1 for 12. Tymal Mills was impressive, 2 for 17. He did his job that his captain wanted. Chris Jordan, 2 overs, 1 for 7. Adil Rashid, 4 for 2. Now, England were given a target, a very measly target at that, of only scoring 56 runs to win the match. But in the process, what one saw is that the Englishmen also put a bit of pressure on them as they lost 4 wickets. But definitely we knew that England were going to win the match. Jason Roy for 11. Josh Butler was there to take them to victory, not out on 24 of 22, 3 boundaries. Johnny Bannister was out for 9 to the bowling of Akil Hussain. Moeen Ali was run out for 3. Liam Livingston was caught and bowled by Akil Hussain, the spinner, for 1. That's a big wicket, and that was a stunning catch taken by Liam Livingston. Also, let's talk about a stunner taken by Aidan Markram in the Australian innings. Magnificent catch. And this was another from Akil Hussain. What a fielder he is of his own bowling. He leapt across onto his left, and as the ball came down, he picked it up. It's almost similar like what Aidan Markram did there when the ball is really, really dying down. Aidan Markram picked up an absolute stunner, and that's what precisely here Akil Hussain did to Liam Livingston. Morgan was not out on 7, and Akil Hussain 2 for 24, 1 for 14 for Ravi Rampal, coming back into the T20 World Cup. McCoy, 9 for 12, and Pollard, just 2 balls for 6. Now, the man of the match here was Moeen Ali, because of his batting and bowling, I reckon. But very quickly, just before I go, let me do a very, very brief preview. It's not a big preview, but a brief preview. As I said, Pakistan and India are clashing tomorrow in the T20 World Cup. And as I said, the atmosphere is going to be absolutely electric. It's going to be, this match is going to take place in Dubai. And again, it is going to be all the matter of strategy, varying the pace, taking pace of the ball, bowling more cutters, according to me. And that is going to be the key. And India have already said that trump card would be Varun Chakravarti, the mystery bowler. And let's look at the squad here. Now, let's first understand that Pakistan have never defeated India in a T20 World Cup. Can Pakistan break the jinx? That's the question. And can India go and preserve the jinx so that Pakistan don't win? So, but as I said, this battle is an absolute challenge. We don't see India-Pakistan battles happening, but this battle is going to be something absolutely special. And I have a very sincere feeling that this time, both the teams are evenly matched. I think Pakistan also have a nice batting lineup like India. Their bowling resources are good as India, and they have a spinner as well. But I think on the spin department, probably India might have a slight edge on Pakistan, and that probably tells me that India probably might have that not a big edge, I would say, just that slight edge over Pakistan, and especially the psychological pressure on Pakistan, as they have never ever won a T20, never won a World Cup match against India. So looking at the team, India, KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma will open the innings for India. Virat Kohli has decided that he will come one drop, and Surya Kumar Yadav is getting the first taste of the World Cup. That'll be interesting to see. He's a wonderful, innovative player, Surya Kumar Yadav. Rishabh Pant getting his first opportunity to go against Pakistan. Hardik Pandya has played against Pakistan in the past. Ravindra Jadeja, Shardul Thakur will also get the first taste of playing against Pakistan. Varun Chakravarti, and Varun Chakravarti seems to be the India's trump card. Now it will be interesting what the team composition is going to be. Whether they're going to go for Ravichandran Ashwin or Varun Chakravarti. Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Jasprit Bumrah, to me, would be the one who would be manning the pace department. Pakistan have also named their 12-man squad. It's a very strong lineup. Look at that. Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan at the top of the order will open the innings. And these are two solid players. And then Fakhar Zaman, who's in some prolific form. Initially, he was not even there in the World Cup. He was in the reserves, according to me. But he was brought into the team. That's a very good move, I thought. And Fakhar Zaman is looking dangerous. Mohammad Hafiz. There's a lot of talk going on about Haider Ali. But Haider Ali, let us understand one thing. That, in my opinion, from what I have seen, Haider Ali probably, yes, he's a good hitter of the ball. He's a youngster, talented, but he has not been consistent. Probably in the Pakistan domestic tournament, he was consistent. One does not know. But Haider Ali, according to me, has been a bit inconsistent. Even in the CPL, he could not score much. So it will be interesting. But my vote will be for Mohammad Hafiz, because Mohammad Hafiz is someone of late. He has the ability to hit the ball high and long. And as I said, he has practiced that golf strokes. In an interview, he said that he plays those golf strokes. So basically, he has been playing a lot of golf lately, so hits the ball a real mile. So I think Mohammad Hafiz, with his experience, should be there, especially against India. I think Shoaib Malik definitely walks in. And because there is a talk going on whether Haider will become, I have a sincere feeling that Mohammad Hafiz will play tomorrow. Asif Ali is another hitter. He has been a bit inconsistent, but I'm told that he did well in the Pakistan domestic tournament. So that's the precise reason he is in. Shadab Khan is a very good all-rounder. He's a leg spinner. He would be key. And I think Shadab Khan and Imad Wazim would be the prime spinners for Pakistan, and they would be the key for sure on a slowish pitch. Hassan Ali, another aggressive bowler and also a very good hitter of the ball as well. Haris Rauf is the first time he's going to be playing in a T20 World Cup, and he will have the first taste of the Indians, Haris Rauf. Shaheen Shah Afridi, he's the key. He's the prime strike bowler for Pakistan. And as I said, he's a very, very changed bowler from what India played last time. He has added a lot of weapons to his armory, and he's a totally changed bowler. He's been successful so far, and I think that will be the sort of a real battle for India with Shaheen Shah Afridi, with his lot of variations that he brings in. But as I said, this particular, just to give you a synopsis, or probably just a real sort of a one-liner, I would say both the teams, it's going to be a real challenge out there in the center, according to me, because I have a feeling that India and Pakistan are evenly balanced. Both are looking strong in respective departments, but as I said, India probably having that slight bit of edge. Just because of the psychological thing that Pakistan had never won a T20 World Cup against India, and India have that sort of a mystery bowler in Varun Chakravarti, which should really be that 4 overs of Varun Chakravarti will really matter. It will be interesting to see how Pakistan tackle them. So definitely looking forward to this electric match which is coming up again between India and Pakistan tomorrow at the Dubai Cricket Ground. With all this being said, it's about time to sign off on this cricket show. And also tomorrow there's one more match which will be before India and Pakistan. That would be between Sri Lanka versus Bangladesh. And that should be a real thriller as well. Well, that's it from me, your host Ram, for the cricket show. And look forward to your company tomorrow on a Sunday when I'll be catching up with you on both those matches that I talked about. That's it from me, your host Ram. And this is your host Ram, finally signing off. Thank you.